Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'd like to call the meeting to order. So we're going to go over the monthly reports. Okay. So I'd like to call the Honolulu Fire Department.
Hello, good evening. My name is Gabe Drill. I'm a firefighter with Pālolo Fire Station. And I'm going to go over our monthly report. Our statistics for July, we had 2 cooking fires and 34 medicals. And our fire safety tip is this month is a back to school fire safety, educating students on what they can do to stay safe during the school year. There's several tips. One of them is don't overload outlets, keep lamps, light fixtures, and light bulbs away from anything that can burn. Never use an extension cord with large appliances like our refrigerator, heat producing appliances. Cook only when it is allowed. Keep the cooking area clean and free of anything that can burn. If a fire starts in a microwave, keep the door closed and unplug the unit. And if a disaster happens, knowing who to call and where to meet is an important part of the emergency planning for you and your family. Pick one main contact locally and one contact out of town who may be easier to reach during a disaster. Do you guys have any questions at all?
I have a comment. Okay, Chair.
Go ahead. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all of you. I work at Pālolo Chinese Home, and you guys are always so impeccable in responding to all of our emergencies. So I wanted to thank you for that. And I also wanted to thank you for getting our person out of the elevator when he was stuck in the elevator. So these guys are wonderful. They're jack of all trades and willing always to help people in emergency. We could not figure out how to get that guy out. So
yeah, no worries. Yeah, you're welcome.
thank you. Thank you very much. Great job.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions or comments? Okay, all right. Have a good night.
Wait, I got.
Oh, sorry.
Were there any calls with you guys helicopter for lost person in the mountain again this month? You guys had any?
I don't think so. We had no hiking calls that I'm aware of.
No.
Yeah. Now this month we've had some in the past, but not in July.
Awesome.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for all the good work you guys do now.
Okay,
Okay.
you're welcome.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Oh, you gotta pass the mic.
Go ahead.
Test, test.
Go ahead.
Hi. Are you familiar with Mokuna Place right above 10th Ave?
Yes.
Are there any issues with coming up Mokuna Place from Waialae into the valley with the cars, with the parking? I know it's tight.
Yeah, I know the
Yeah,
one
it's the
corner.
loop.
The
Mhm.
one corner can be kind of tight. Yeah.
Fire station. I think the ladder was really tight to get in there.
Okay. This is good to know. I figured that
Yeah,
would be
that
the
one,
case.
the one corner closest to Waialae is the tight corner coming around there. You usually can make it, but there's a lot of cars on that corner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. This is good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
I think that's it. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
All
thank you
right.
for your service.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Next, I'd like to call the monthly reports from Honolulu Police Department.
Hi, aloha, Lieutenant Taro Nakamura with the HPD. So these are the stats for July as compared to the previous month. Motor vehicle thefts were 4 as compared to 7. Burglaries remain constant at 2 and 2. Thefts also 11 and 11. And UEMVs, which is theft from auto, was 4 as compared to 2 the previous month. So had a total calls of service of 6,412 for the district. And further statistical information can be found at honolulupd.org. Our safety tip for the month is same as HFD, but more orientated towards like traveling to school. This is always a hectic time when we have to totally rearrange our schedules around the kids again. And if you can, just take that extra time to prepare. it's a good time to check out your car too, to make sure the car is working well. And I guess one thing that I'd like to highlight is just remind the kids, take your time if you're walking to school or if you're biking to school, and if you're crossing the crosswalk, get off the bike and then walk it across. Yeah.
I agree. Thank you. Board, do we have any questions or Darlene?
Oh, I just wanted to do a shout out to one of our neighborhood watch program. David Nagamini, he's retiring from being the neighborhood watch for our Carlos Long neighborhood up there. And it looks like he has big shoes to fill, by the way, but it looks like he's going to be replaced by Joanne Nishiki and also another lady, Hoku. So shout out to David Nagamini. He's been our neighborhood security watch officer for 25 years for our Carlos
wow.
Long community. So thank you, David. I hope you're watching. Mahalo.
With it, Lieutenant Nakamura.
Yes. I'm sorry, it's your
Okay,
audio is cutting in and out.
You know, we're getting a lot of cars going kind of fast down 10th and Pālolo. You got on sign there, please drive, slow, you know. But another thing too is that, on the corner of Pālolo Chinese home, which I asked for 15 miles an hour drive, they got the sign too close to the turn. You gotta put your sign at least about 100 feet back, you know what I mean? So they can see before they hit the turn. So that ends up, that going up 10th Avenue and the one they coming down. It's a turn when the fire department make a turn or a fire engine, make a turn to Pālolo Chinese home, you know. So we can have that corrected. And by the way, we miss you, every time, We're only a long time. Okay, Lieutenant?
I'm sorry.
Aloha,
I
Lieutenant, can
heard
you hear
about
us?
one every third word he said. Not very clearly. Yeah, I can hear you, but through that mic, it was like once every third word. It was a little bit strange.
What did it say?
You said he put it right here. If you have a question to get an answer.
Oh, can you hear me now, Lieutenant? Yeah. No? Yeah?
And then something about the 50-mile sign, but you wanted it moved?
Yeah.
Is that
yes.
correct? Okay, as far as the speeding is concerned, is there a time that it's prevalent?
What's this?
Like what time do the cars speed a lot, the most? Yeah, because then I can ask either the night watch or the day watch too.
Normally about 5, 4, you know what I mean? 6, most of the time, they cannot see the 15-mile sign,
So 5 o'clock in
Yeah, I cannot hear.
the afternoon.
I can't hear you, Lieutenant.
Go ahead, sir. Let me try something on my end.
Speeding, like you said, between 4 and 5. Well, actually,
Check that out.
Yep. So as far as the sign, we can address speeders that are around the Pālolo Chinese home, and of course, if there's parking and especially if it does impede emergency vehicles such as the bigger HFD engines and the ladder like that, please call us and we'll go inside that car If it's a hazard, we'll actually tow it, like if it's in front of a fire hydrant or whatever, yeah. So definitely give us a call on that one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Board Member Dean?
Lieutenant. Hi, Lieutenant. Question, noticed this afternoon, a lot of police activity on 9th and Waialae, maybe 6 or 7 patrol cars in the area of the businesses down there. Any information on that?
Oh, I apologize. It's a systemic thing. I worked the night watch and I just came on to work at 6 o'clock. So I don't know what happened during the day, but there were no major highlights that I remember. But I can check for you, and it might be a little late, but next month I can ask.
Thank you.
I can, reply. Yeah, apologize for that. I just started work.
Lieutenant Nakamura, I'm wondering if this is a scam and if it's going on in our community. But I had someone follow me home, walk in my driveway and say that I had bumped her. And my mom was with me, and there is no way I bumped that car. So I did call the police and I did make my own report, but I wasn't quick enough to take a picture of her car. And I did take a picture around my car to prove in case it does come up. But is this going on because it's very scary for my family, and I don't know if it's going on in the community, but please be aware.
Did that other driver stop to speak with the police? Did they stay?
She
or did they
turned
leave?
around when I said I did not bump your car and I was not in the vicinity. She said I had bumped her car. She went back to her car and drove off. And she said, I'm going to call the police. So since she was going to call the police, I also made my own report to protect myself. But now the scary part is she followed me home and she knows where I live. So hopefully this doesn't happen. So if she does come again, I'll call 911 as trespassing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What is your name, ma'am?
Beverly Mao. And I live on Hina Street, like
Beverly,
2
I
blocks
think what
from
you
the service
did was
station.
exactly right. Whenever you have a question about an accident, especially something like that, where you're pretty sure you didn't hit that other car, just call 911. And the police will respond to that. And then if the other driver, if they don't have the, if they just turn around and leave, then that tends to make me believe that, yeah, it was kind of suspicious. So, but what you did was the right thing, just call us
Yes,
because
thank you.
they're banking on you kind of like just giving into that, but don't, just be confident in what you did or you didn't do. If you didn't hit the other.
Okay, thank you, because she didn't even stop to share insurance
all the-
information.
Yeah.
So I feel it's a
Yeah.
scam.
no. Yeah,
you.
I would tend to believe it. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's bad people in this world. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, board members, any other questions?
Hi, Lieutenant Nakamura. My apologies if this is out of your jurisdiction, but piggybacking off of what I was asking with the fire department on Mokuna Place, I was told about a concern from some residents that there was a no parking sign removed on Mokuna Place right around the bend, Waialae side. And that's what I'm kind of concerned about. It's blocking emergency vehicles from coming up that street. If you have any information about that, or or knowledge about that, that would be very helpful. Or guidance.
Well, it's not a strange quirk in the system, but the house is not responsible for placement of our sign up at Pālolo Homes, or whether a parking sign is installed or taken out from a particular area. That's done by the city street signs people. So you can actually address your concern there. But if one was it removed because of an accident, or the pole was, that they might be in the process of getting replaced. But yeah, we don't take care of those signs. Yeah. But if the parked cars are impeding the vehicle from an emergency vehicle from going into your street, yeah, that's definitely a concern. So I would make sure you mention that when you speak to the street sign people, because they can hopefully put it on top of all the other things that they have to do, rather than at the bottom of the list. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Lieutenant Nakamura? Right. Lieutenant Nakamura, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the email as well about the safety tips. I appreciate it.
Okay, take care. Aloha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'd like to move along to the Board of Water Supply.
Hi, can you hear me?
Dominic?
Can you guys hear me there?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, real quick report, not much to announce, just a general announcement. The Board of Water Supply is participating in a nationwide survey on access and affordability of water. It's a quick survey, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. There's several ways you can access the survey. So I put a link in the chat for anybody online to the survey itself, as well as you can also go to our website, www.boardofwatersupply.com, and there's a link to the survey there as well. There's actually hard copy QR codes available at all satellite city halls if anybody wants to pick one of those up as well. That said, I'm happy to take any questions on behalf of the Board of Water Supply.
Board members, any questions?
With Dominic. Dominic,
Yes,
what happened to him?
I'm right here.
Yeah. Okay, Dominic. Can see you over there. But anyway, Dominic, we are doing a good job. But the main person is Ernie Lau. Okay? He's finding about the water, and the water is the most main thing in our island. So the whole Pālolo neighborhood board thank Ernie Lau for doing a good job. Tell him that, okay?
I
Dominic?
will, I will for sure.
Okay. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you guys.
Dominic, I had a question.
Yes.
Do you have any concerns or that we should be, as residents or community of the community, any concerns that we should know about as far as the water quality or anything?
In this area, no, absolutely not. Yeah, there's recent articles on the possible migration of the contamination plume around Red Hill. There's a lot of testing there. In terms of your water quality here, there's nothing that I would report to be of concern. You can always, if anyone's interested, I know annually we provide a water quality report, but you can always go onto the Board of Water Supply website, www.boardofwatersupply.com. And if you go into the water quality section, you can search by your address or a tax map key, and it'll give you a full water quality report with the results of all the testing. It shows you which sources provide water to your residents, and as well as a full breakdown of all the lab tests and water quality analyses for the water systems that service you. So that's one way you can always keep abreast of what's there. And on our webpage, we do always update any relevant stories or incidences that might affect water quality, and we always have updates on Red Hill as things become available. So that's another way. And I will always, be reporting anything of concern as it comes up.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Board Member Randy has his hands up. He has a question,
Sure.
I believe.
You're muted. You're still muted.
Randy, you're muted.
I just did that. Thank
There you go. We can hear you.
When the pumps are going on the Keanu pumping station, is that a noisy, are they quite noisy? Because I have observed going down the Keanu cutoff that there have been mechanical noises coming from the pumping area. Have you had any feedback from the neighbors on that?
Yeah, I haven't, and I will look into it because normally if we have a system that has the potential to be noisy, we usually install mute structures around the pumps. So I'll look into it and see. Maybe it was construction, maybe it was
Could have been construction.
yeah, it might have been construction work.
I don't want to cause unnecessary turmoil, but
No, I will definitely look into that though.
thank you.
Because that was it actually it might be ongoing. It's a recent construction project there. So if anything, improvements should have been made to mitigate noise, but I will look into that and get back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I believe that is it, Dominic. Thank you so much
Okay.
for your time.
Thank you all.
Thank you. I'd like to move on to resident community and concerns. Do you have if you can please state your name.
Hi. Hello?
Yep. We can,
Okay, yeah,
we can hear you. Thank you.
I'm Hoko Akio. I'm part of that neighborhood watch that took over from David. Joanne isn't here because she forgot. Anyway, just want to introduce myself. So there's a big shoes that we have to fill in on for David. The part I have a question is that we live on Narcissa Street, going up Carlos Long. And the land behind us at the very top, it's so confusing because it says state of Hawaii, but yet it belongs to the Board of Water Supply. And we're just trying to figure out who takes care of that area because it's been like 2 months already. We're talking about the busier trees. And now it's the tree that fell down, it's growing. The pods are in the ground and new trees are going closer to the homes. And we're just trying to figure out how we can get rid of those trees, invasive trees. 2 months ago, we brought it up and we're still waiting. Our Board of Water Supply came by. I was trying to stop him. He just got out of his truck, looked at the backyard, and then drove off. I was trying to catch him to say, I need to talk to you, but I guess he didn't hear me. He drove off, but I couldn't get the name, but they did come up to look. And that was the last communication that I seen. Joanne had been trying to contact I think Kelvin and find out what's going on, the status on that thing. So usually Joanne come and talk and I just sit back. But since it's been 2 months, I don't like to come up and talk because it gets kind of boring when I get the same answers that, we're working on it. And I'm one of the kind of person that I'll wait and wait and wait. And then when the waiting's over, I come over here and I talk. And I'm not too happy about it. So if someone can give me an answer to figure out how to get rid of the invasive trees, this is an invasive plant, how to get rid of that tree that has sprouted their seeds, because as they say, it grows kind of fast and it's growing. And thank you. Well, this tree was way in the back. Right. So it's like way in the back. When it fell, it reached to the drainage ditch area. And that was one of our concerns because those trees apparently doesn't die because they get pods. And so now it's blooming and it's right on the fence of the drainage ditch area. And it's getting big. So, and it's been, yeah, because when it fell, you know, it rotted and everything else, but the pods started coming up. So now you got a whole bush growing. And that's one of our concerns of it, because we have all these homes around there. And I think 2-3 years ago, they came in and cut the trees down, but this is way in the back. And when it fell, it was big. So it came all the way down to the canal side.
Is there any city officials that would like to answer this question?
Aloha, this is Poor from Councilmember Say's office. Hi, I wanted to just chime in. I'll check on that status in the back. That's by Narcissus Street in the back by the stream, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let me try and double check and follow up with you. I have my email in the chat that I can give to you if you have any questions, but I wanted to see if I could get a number from you, if you could talk to us offline, or I can give you our number to call at our office just to make sure. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Mahalo Pua. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you.
Well, let me start off by saying thank you very much, David, for attending this evening. Number one, Philip, okay, Philip, and also Joanne. I've been blessed that I did get a chance to walk Narcissus Street and Place. It's at the end of the driveway going up Carlos Long, and it is adjacent to the park, but there's a big storm drain that is catching the water from the mountains to the area going down. We did get Board of Water Supply to cut some of the trees down because they have a corridor as part of it. But more importantly, the question would be what Philip is asking, who owns the property in the back of their homes? And I think for all of us from Pālolo now, we're beginning to realize how difficult it is living in a valley. For those that live Pālolo Avenue, I think for residents on Pālolo Avenue, we had the boulder falling. There were 2 property owners, one above and one in between. And that's why Mr. Savio was making a presentation to the owners at the bottom of Pālolo Avenue to see if they were interested in doing something. In this particular case, Albizia is a tree that is very invasive, and a group met up at the Korean Retreat Center in Waimau. It was a Saturday, which I also attended to learn more about what can we do about Albizia trees. And it's not just Pālolo, but also Manoa, Makiki, and other parts. It's a tree that's very invasive, that grows very fast, but it has a very weak root. And when the big winds come, that's when it topples over. So that's the kind of issue we face today. And Philip and Joanne, if you're listening, we'll try to our best. At least Pua knows that we're supposed to follow up with these type of concerns, and the staff and I are working very hard. It's not just, one area, but all areas of District 5 that I do represent. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Board business. I'd like to move on to board business, approval of regular meeting written. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped. Report from permitted interaction groups, and that is the Trees for Pālolo. Do we happen to have Dan online?
I see his
Yeah.
his box, yes.
Yeah, I'm on line, Chair, and yeah, thank you very much. Trees for Pālolo initiative was something that the Pālolo Neighborhood Board supported. And I'll just kind of to ground us, share again the goals of the project, the initiative, which are these three: increase the tree canopy. And after this very important Albizia discussion, I need to really say increase the proper tree canopy, because Albizia is, as the previous speakers said, is invasive. It is not good for the environment, and really does need to be removed. And when they're smaller, that's the best time to get them. So we want appropriate trees, right tree in the right place, getting the right care. The second initiative objective is food security and increased resilience. And the third is to bring additional education and resources to the community. So we've met every month now, and we at our last meeting in July, good turnout from the community, including permitted interaction group members from the neighborhood board. And we continue to develop our plan. We're going to be meeting again next week, Monday. That's August 19th at 6:30 p.m. at Pālolo Homes. And I'm going to throw in the chat our email if anyone has questions about it, or just, you don't actually have to attend the meeting. We're happy to share information from the meeting, and people can monitor it that way. And I'll be happy to take any questions at this time about the project.
Go ahead, Darlene.
Hey, I just wanted to, I don't know if you know this, but you know that tree that's alongside the Welcome to Pālolo Valley sign? Did you know that there's a neighbor across the street towards St. Louis School that drags her water hose and waters that tree? I don't know if you know that. I don't know if the neighbors know that. Do you know who that neighbor is? So we can recognize her. It's a lady, and she lives on the St. Louis side, and I saw her drag that water hose across all of Pālolo Avenue to water that tree, and I thought, oh my goodness, she deserves a shout out. And I thought for sure you would know who that was. Calvin knows everybody in our neighborhood, but kudos to her. And then I don't know if you know who she is, but
Darlene, I have to apologize. I really don't know everyone, but I can say this. That's just on that Pālolo Avenue adjacent to the tree where the Pālolo, Welcome Pālolo sign was. On your left side, as you're driving into Pālolo Valley, you'll see that vacant property. That's a stormwater sewer system property. Next door is the Conky property that is being rented out. If you're talking about going into the valley on the opposite side, I don't know, because the left side, so it's the Conky family or the Watanabe family, which was the masseuse before. Yeah. Okay. That's all I.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I don't know who you're referring to, but I also think Councilmember Say knows everyone. So if he doesn't know, but what I would encourage you to do the next time you see someone doing something helpful is, if you can, pull over if you're driving or if you're walking, just stop and thank them. I've done this very successfully with people, just and they appreciate the fact that they're kind of quietly doing good, and a large tree like that, more water is good. I have to also note, and Roxanne Adams, who is in charge of the city's Division of Urban Forestry, came before this neighborhood board a couple months back. That tree is sick, and they're trying to save it. They're working very hard to save the tree because it is so iconic and important as a symbol of Pālolo. So additional water will help. It's kind of like when, trees and people, if you're not feeling well, getting the right nutrition and so forth really helps. So that tree is under care, and it's wonderful that residents care so much that they're willing to kind of go that extra mile. So yeah, do let us know if you know who that is, or if I notice it, and now I'm aware. So we can thank them for doing kind of citizen work to help the Pālolo community.
Thank you so much, Dan. Mahalo, Dan, for your time.
Oh, thank you. And again, next week, Monday the 19th, 6:30 is our follow-up meeting. And thank you for all the support from the neighborhood board and more reports to come.
Thank you. Board business, approval of the regular meeting written summary.
Chair Asuega, I'd like to move for approval of the board meeting of Wednesday, July 10th, 2024.
Maybe a second. Put that down.
Okay, there's a move and second.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Any discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion, thank you. Filling of vacancies. We have 1 for sub-district 1, 2 for sub-district 3. Any residents interested in filling a vacant board seat must provide or bring current proof of residency to the board meeting or contact a neighborhood, our neighborhood assistant, Camelia. Okay, moving on, adding members to the Trees for Pālolo Permitted Interaction Group. To 6 members. I think that's it, yeah? Any volunteers today?
I would like to volunteer.
Awesome, we will add you on. Dan, if you're still on, board member Leolani wants to be added to the Trees for Pālolo Committee. Thank you so much, Leolani. All right. And we're moving along to elected officials, Congressman Ed Case. No? One more, Ed Case? Okay, moving along, thank you. City Council Member Calvin Say.
Good evening once more, and thank you very much for the privilege of being here this evening. All of you have my report in the chat, so I'll move on. That there's an announcement for all of you that we'll be having a major Pālolo Valley cleanup on Saturday, October 26, 2024. Bring your boots, outside clothes to Kukua with the Pālolo Housing Group to Malamada Aina at the Pālolo Plantation and Stream. And that's in the back. We will get more information as we get closer to this particular event. The website links for those who are on the website this evening and the chat, please be aware of the real property tax timeline and important dates. Why? You folks all got your assessments and their bill. If you want to appeal, you better appeal because we're not going to allow you to appeal after the deadline. Next, we have a link to the modifications in the bus routes, a status on the Ku'uhea Street Stabilization Project. For any of you who are interested in the sign up for the Complete Street newsletter for upcoming events, the Alawai Watershed Project, the U.S. Corps of Engineers, Homeowners Handbook to prepare for natural disasters, and also we have a flyer for our feral chicken issue. CIP projects, which we call capital improvement projects, is 2695 Waimau Road, Keaolili Place, Ku'uhea Street, Waimau Road area emergency work, repair to the Ku'uhea Street, Waimau Road area that was done by road tracking, roadway improvements in the vicinity of 2065 Kula Street, Puna Street, and Waimau Street, Pālolo Valley District Park, Phase 2, the gymnasium and pool pump building re-roof, And the architect and the engineer is the RMA Architects. So the project right now is in plans and design. If people understand the project timeline, first and foremost, it's the appropriation. Once the appropriation is appropriated and approved by the administration, it goes to the committee, not to the committee, the Department of Design and Construction. From there, if it continues on, then the process takes its place, but it's about a 3-4 year project. Okay, and I was there 3 weeks ago on a Monday or Tuesday afternoon, seeing the summer school kids perform. They had a performance for their parents. And I can see why the gym has been closed because of the roofing up above and the asbestos and et cetera. But it was a very much well-used gymnasium. Okay. And that's it for Kuahea to Hilo Place. And moving on to the long term, it was Kuahea Place, et cetera. I hope Mr. Cott is listening to the presentation this evening. And for the month, we had 5 projects that were discussed. A resident were concerned about the Apostolic Faith Church on the corner of Pālolo and Ka'au and have witnessed far too many close calls of our keiki and kupuna who attempt to cross the street. Unfortunately, the cars on Pālolo speed and they can't yield to pedestrians who wish to cross in the crosswalks. So we did send PUA did send a riser to the department and we're checking on it. And we also got in contact with Senator Ihara on the state side to assist with their concerns. Okay, Rep. Sayama had another request as they walk house to house. They get all these requests that are city related. And this one from Rep. Sayama was a traffic study at 1320 Pālolo Avenue. Moving on, another one from Michael and Ann. Repainting arrows on 6th Avenue between St. Patrick's School and Sacred Heart School. Mr. Nakayama, invasive bamboo growing on his property from the neighbor's yard. Mr. Sanimitsu, storm drain under city and county property on 1270 Pālolo Avenue, which PUA also went out to talk to Mr. Sanimitsu. There is money in the budget for that particular storm drain. And finally, another one from our constituents on Pālolo Avenue. And this, I think, affects all of us that you'll be now aware of. There's a storm drain coming down from Chaminade Hill, exiting into Pālolo Stream. So the individual is asking for more details regarding the location of storm drains throughout the valley of Pālolo, which is our infrastructure needs. So those are some of the concerns voiced, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. For Leo, please send me a copy of the address of where the no parking sign is. See, for the no parking sign, a lot of times it's at the request of your neighbors, right? And Mokuna, for all of you know, is off of 10th Avenue. Right behind the laundromat, Azama, Habitat, the service station. So that's the back of, that's Makuna. So just give me the address and let's see what the Department of Transportation Services has to say about it. Renell, any other questions or board members or residents, please?
I had a question about the Pālolo Park. So I'm so sorry. Can you clarify with us is for the gym?
Yep.
Is
It's
it
Pālolo Park District Park, excuse me, Pālolo Valley District Park Phase 2.
okay?
Gymnasium and pool pump and building re-roof. And the architect is RMA Architects. And that particular project now is in the plans and design. So it is starting the process from plans, then design to construction.
Okay. Is that including the court lights?
No, it's not. I'll be very honest with you. That would be a separate appropriation.
So it'll be gym roof.
Yep.
Okay. So it'd be gym roof and
Gym roof and trying to replace maybe the pool pump.
okay. So how do we, How do you suggest that the community or request, or how do they go about as far as the court lights?
My thoughts, very simply put, if we could, the students of Jared Middle School to create a petition. And the kids from Pālolo.
So there was a petition that was signed and it collected over 300 signatures already.
Okay, and that was submitted to who?
The board here,
Okay, to the board,
So
but where did it go
we
from there?
had, I'm sorry,
Where did it go from there?
we have it, I have it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what I'm saying, that's the process that you're trying to follow, okay? After you folks have come up with a resolution requesting that we do something, the council and the administration,
We did,
okay, with Colin, yeah. And
Yes.
that was for the lights, but
yes.
yeah, that's why it's in the budget.
Oh, okay. So there is the lights.
There is money for the replacement of the lights.
Okay, awesome. Okay,
I did make that report about 2 months ago. That's why right now. Okay,
thank
Yeah,
you.
one.
go right ahead, Earl.
Kevin, you see something Kuhia Place. What was that about you talking about? You're gonna make Kuhia Place.
Kuahia Place now is in discussion with the families who are interested in having the city get involved in the resurfacing and the renovation, not renovation, but resurfacing and restructuring of that road.
What's that? They're gonna make a road for them?
That's the discussion going on. The city, like, I think we made a presentation, the city is only 2/10 the property owners that have property on Kuahia Place. So you folks are, not you, the other 8 families are asking that the city pays for everything. And we're saying, I think everybody should pay a fair share of what they own as far as to the road.
Well,
Because it is a private road.
it's a private road. We all knew about that, but then when you guys was working up there, you guys should have made a temporary road for them. Because you get about 5 families up, 6 families up there, you know. So just make something like a temporary road, you know. And then they gotta fix them up, then the neighbors gotta do them, but just give them one place so they can park the car up there.
So if you check into the link, there's a report on that.
I'll be talking to them, whoever was working up there.
I had one more.
Yeah, go right ahead.
How would the community be able to, I guess, interact or like keep up with the project as to when, like you mentioned, 3 to 4 years? How
No,
would they be
just,
informed?
just make the request to me that every month that I have to have a status report.
Oh, okay,
And if the status report says that it is moving in the process at a very slow pace, that's all I can report back. But I'm happy that Warren is here
yes.
with facilities maintenance. And he's with the city, and he could also contact DDC, who is in charge of these particular city projects.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not putting any pressure on you, Warren.
No, not at all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for everything last week. No, Warren folks did a great job for those that drive by King and Kalakaua, where that homeless encampment was, where they picked up over 4 truckloads of trash.
Okay.
And then a couple of days later, they're back. That's the frustration I have as a city council member. And we're trying our best. You know, let me just say this, that I enjoy what I'm doing, and District 5 is so large. There's a project by Kapilani Boulevard called the Waikiki Vista. Have you heard about that one? That's a project by the city and county that we acquired Tokai University before that.
Yes.
Okay, Randy knows.
Yeah,
And then
it's
maybe,
that building on Kapiolani, yes.
and we were trying to address the families who are homeless. The single parent family, and also having a floor where you're picking up these homeless individuals and trying to give them the, what we call full circle of services. And it's a tough going, but these are things that, we're doing. This District 5, we have over 14 or 15 different homeless encampments. And if I look tired, I am, because every week I'm trying to respond to these calls, these emails, so forth. Stadium Park, Lily Park, Crane Park, the bridge by, the H1 bridge by Kaimiki High School, where they had the homeless encampment under there. Moving on to Makiki Park, Cartwright Park, Manoa Park. A lot of the parks have a lot of homeless because of the comfort stations. You've got the water, etc. So I just share that with you, but no, I'm happy to answer any questions that you folks may have from Pālolo. And people think that I only take care of Pālolo, but I take care of all 5 house districts that I do represent. How's that?
Yes.
Please. Dean, any question? Leo? Your voice is loud enough, Dean.
Nothing in particular, Calvin. I know that I just want to recognize, I know you're moving on and starting a different chapter. And on the way, but I just want to, on behalf of myself, my residents, Pālolo, especially my mom, thank you so much for everything you do. You are a true role model, public servant, and you have made an impact on this community and many other communities, but I'll speak on behalf of Pālolo. It is so much appreciated. We know how much work it is, days, nights, weekends. Just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Mahalo.
My response to all of you is that thank you very much for being a part of this, community and being, public citizens that participate in the governmental process. If it's not for you folks, then we won't have any government as far as trying to respond to all these issues. But thank you. Yes, Earl.
Yeah, Calvin, I'd like to thank you, man. So many persons.
Hey, don't say thank you yet. I get 4 more months to go.
I don't mind, but I mean, everything's so empty over here, man. So you're the all-star now.
No, I'm not. Jackson and Senate.
But anyway, if you,
And I hope maybe what you could do, Renell, and the committee, is to invite the council member elect. He's a great guy also.
I'm sorry, who? Counselor?
The new council elect member, which is Scott Nishimoto. Maybe Earl can call him up.
anyway, since you do have a good retirement, okay?
I'm gonna be happy now listening to what you doing on a 10th Avenue, left turn or right turn to Wailai. Nah, I'm only kidding.
That's right.
Thank you so
Not
much
no.
again.
Thank you, Calvin.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, Calvin.
You're welcome,
We'd like to move on to Mayor Rick Blangiardi's. So Deputy Director Warren Mamizuka.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Chair Asuega and board members. So in the chat, I put the link for the mayor's newsletter for this month. Pretty good newsletter. So, when you have chance, please, visit the link and see what's going on in the city. For this month, we have 3 responses. The first issue, there's 3 questions. So I'll start off with, this is about the monster home at 2930 Date Street. The first question was, can an update be provided on the status of this property? Member Shiraki raised a concern about this property being used as a monster home. Any information about pending permits and or violations would be useful to inform the community. So all the responses are from the Department of Planning and Permitting. The first response will be inspection history. If the question is with regard to a building permit, A2021-01-0955, BP number 861945, alterations to existing 2-family dwelling. The building inspector completed the inspections. We do not have separate electrical and plumbing inspections for single and 2-family projects. The next question. also from member Shiraki. So inspection history, well, I guess that kind of follows that. Is looking for the confirmation about whether the 2930 Street, State Street property has received the necessary electrical and plumbing inspections. I just read that in the inspection history. Let me see. Well, zoning, member Kawamoto wants to know if the 2930 Date Street property has always been zoned for apartments or if it was recently converted. So the zoning history, this parcel has not been recently converted or rezoned. It has had apartment zoning prior to the adoption of the land use ordinance in 1986. Currently, this parcel is in the A2 medium density apartment district and under the comprehensive zoning code. It was zoned A2 apartment district. Our records indicate that the property was zoned hotel and apartment in 1945 and became A2 apartment in 1969. And, lastly, the monster homes ordinances only apply to residentially zoned districts. This property is located in the apartment zone district, A2 medium density apartment district, which allow for larger multifamily structures. According to the building permit plans, the total square feet is 5,626 square feet. Okay, moving on. Issue number 2. Road repavement, member Shiraki raised a concern about the numerous bumps and potholes along 21st Avenue. So I think we covered this last month, but our response is currently DFM does not have any outstanding pothole service requests for 21st Avenue. DFM is requesting specific location needs provided. FYI, 21st Avenue between Luai Street and Wailai Avenue is under the jurisdiction of the Hawaii State Department of Transportation. Member Shiraki, if you're mentioning that portion of Wailai or 21st Avenue, that's under the state HDOT. Yeah. Okay. Last issue. Homeless medical service. Member Asuega asked if there's any requirements or application the homeless need to complete to receive medical services at Leahi Behavioral and Medical Respite. The HESD department, with the EMS and whatnot, the homeless, they're actually requesting that an extension be made for the response for next month. They do have a reference DART and then one view that has been submitted, so they are working on responding to this issue. That's all I have to report. At this time, I can take any questions.
Board members?
Warren,
Yes, sir.
you know the pothole we're talking about, 21st coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I pass through there every time. I try to look for the hole, but I see a lot of manhole covers down over there. The kind that about 12-inch diameter, and you get the regular kind. Because when I went there, when I made the turn, my car got stuck. In other words, my gears went into neutral. That hard, you know what I mean? Boom, it just stuck. So I must have gone over one of the manholes. What must have been open. Because every day I look at a phone hole, I didn't see. So one of them must have been open.
Okay. Do you have a specific location? We're on 21st.
21st is, when you come down from 21st Avenue toward the mountain. You
Yeah.
hit Wailai Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's on Wailai Avenue. So when I went over there, my tire my left hand rear tire just stopped one time inside there. you know. And I just don't know what. So every day I trying to look through there, what hole was it? I couldn't see any hole. So it's got to be one of the manhole cover was open. You get about eight manhole covers over there, So it must have been, must have flipped over one of them.
Yeah, that could be possible. But we would have to forward this to the Hawaii State Department of Transportation.
Oh.
The ramp and everything under the freeway belongs to the DOT.
Yeah. Who to get?
Okay.
Okay, now, Warren. Okay. On 10th Avenue, next to the Pālolo Chinese home, I asked for a 15 miles, 15 miles an hour. Okay, they got the 15 miles an hour close to the turn. So I live right on the turn around there, and they're going fast around. So what they have to do is put the 15 mile sign down towards the ocean, about 100 feet or 200 feet. So they can see the sign and slow down before that. So the sign now is just about 50 feet from the turn. And the opposite side, when you're coming down, the sign is too close, you gotta be farther away, before they make that turn. Because otherwise, I can understand where they're thinking that you just put on a sign and, you know what I mean? Not thinking how the guy's driving, because a lot of people are driving maybe about 30 miles an hour, before they hit the turn, So I live right around that area. So you gotta move the sign, You gotta go more down so they can see and they get turned, before they make the turn. Both sides. Okay?
Yeah,
All right.
we
Okay,
can refer this to the Department of Transportation Services.
if they can talk to me, you know what I mean? Call me.
Okay,
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Warren.
you're welcome, Earl.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions? I think that's it. We're good. Thank you so much, Deputy Director Warren. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
you're
it.
welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Warren.
Next, we have Governor Josh Green's representative.
Aloha. Aloha. Good evening, everyone. Chair, board members, Kiela Amundsen, PIO for Haima, representing the governor's office this evening. I just wanted to highlight some events that took place out of the governor's office. Last week, Thursday, marked the 1-year anniversary of the Maui wildfires. So the governor and first lady took time to commemorate the lives lost with their families by taking part in remembrance events throughout the week. Last week on Maui, the university working to address an array of health and environmental issues caused by the Lahaina fires. So the National Science Foundation has provided $2.1 million to fund projects that are being coordinated across the 10 campus UH system, again, that address health and environmental issues. I believe I reported on this at the last board meeting, but last month the governor celebrated the enactment of 253 bills passed during this past legislative session. You can read more on the governor and what the state has done in the last month by visiting Kealoha at the governor.hawaii.gov. At this time, I don't have any new news to report on your Pālolo siren, but pending any questions, that's the end of my report.
Any questions from the board? No? No? We're good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to Representative Jackson Sayama.
Aloha, Chair, members of the board. Apologize for not being in person. Just need to pick up some family from the airport. But I've been going around the district, helping out folks out with some risers here and there, working in coordination with Councilmember Talvin Say. I am, however, thinking of doing a park cleanup, maybe sometime next month or the month after at Pukela Mini Park. Some people call it the Triangle Park, right at the entrance of Pālolo Valley on Pālolo Avenue. So I will keep the board updated on any progress we make with scheduling that park cleanup. We'd appreciate it if everyone could come out to help out a little bit. It'll mostly consist of raking leaves and repainting of the benches and trash cans. With that, I'm about, I really have no updates from my office, but on a side note, we just did finish the primary election, so we are moving on to the general election period. Just want to say thank you for all the support on that front. With that, I'm open to questions.
Any questions from the board? Nope. Okay.
Hello, Jackson.
Hey, Earl.
Well, yeah. Okay, Jackson, we're not going to get the firearm test again this month, you know. You gotta let them know that. That's very, very important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people, like Lahaina fire, you know what I mean? They don't even talk about the fire alarm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
yeah. So
anytime
uh-huh.
you get on fire, on house burn, the first thing you're gonna do, the fireman is to get the residents out.
Yeah.
Not how to stop the fire, so how to get the residents out. And the fire alarm is the stuff that alerts them that they gotta come out of the house. Okay?
Right.
So they gotta push that out, that thing about them. The fire alarm is very, very important.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, no, I'll keep on it, Earl. But yeah, just governor's representative from the Haima just said they didn't have any updates. So I think we're still sticking with their original timeline of sometime next year for the repairs to be done. But I'll continue to push for a more expedited process.
Yeah, okay, Justin, doing a good job. But make sure push the stuff now. I don't want them not okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How long are it? So many, almost over an years already.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jackson. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Jackson Sayama, for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Senator Les Ihara.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Hi, I'm here mostly to listen because the legislature is in interim and we do not expect to go back into session to do any work on the floor. We have some constituent work and maybe research and prepare for the next session. So I'm here mainly to listen and if you have any questions.
Any questions? No? No, we're okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So announcements, we have next meeting, the Pālolo Neighborhood Board will, number 6, will recess in September 2024. Next regular meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, October 9th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at Pālolo Elementary School and online. The Trees for Pālolo Permitted Interaction Group is tentatively scheduled to hold its meeting on Wednesday. Oh, that is the wrong date. Actually, it's Monday, August 19th at 7 p.m. at Pālolo Homes.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And then we have the Olelo rebroadcast for the neighborhood board. Number 6, meetings are scheduled each month on Olelo channel 49. For 4th Thursday at 9 p.m. and the 1st and 3rd Sundays at 12 p.m. An archive of past meetings may be found on https olelo.org by searching Pālolo. I think that's it. I'd like to adjourn the meeting.
thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Chair.